In 1982, cocaine trafficker Barry Seal set up one of the largest drug smuggling operations in the United States in Mena, Arkansas, under the approving eye of Governor Bill Clinton.
Medellin, Cali, and Bogota, Colombia, the nucleus of the most powerful drug cartels in the Western Hemisphere. 2,000 miles away, hidden in the mountains of western Arkansas's Ouachita National Forest, lies a transshipment point for these cartels. U.S. Customs has estimated that at least 75% of all drug smuggling aircraft have passed through the Mena, Arkansas airport for one reason or another. During the early to mid-1980s, Mena served as a sanctuary for Adler, Barham, and Seal, one of the biggest, if not the most famous of all importers of illegal drugs into this country.
Barry Seal was a drug smuggler. Now, he tried to set it up in his home state of Louisiana, but they wouldn't let him. He had to come to a state that had a sleazy governor hooked on cocaine.
To carry out my first trial run operation. An enormous quantity of cocaine had been flown in on one of these operations, and I was to deliver it into the neighboring state of Arkansas. By that time, Bill Clinton's drug operation was in full swing. He was governor of Arkansas, and I delivered this cocaine to a remote airport in Ouachita Forest, which I've since identified as Mena Airport. I also delivered a little packet of information and a small quantity of cocaine, a personal stash from J. Bennett Johnston, to Bill Clinton. I delivered it to Bill Clinton, and he cut out 2 lines of the coke, and he did inhale. That certainly wasn't the only time I saw Bill Clinton using cocaine. My sexual experience with Bill Clinton was extremely limited, in spite of the fact that I was a sex slave. It was my experience that Bill Clinton is bisexual, leaning far more towards a homosexual end. All I've ever seen him involved in was the homosexual activity, with very limited experience with him myself. Whereas my experience was much more prevalent with Hillary Clinton, because Hillary is also bisexual, leaning more towards a homosexual end, and it was she who accessed my sex programming to fulfill her perversions.
There were $100 million a month in cocaine coming in and out of Mena, Arkansas. They had a problem. They were doing so much money in cocaine, $100 million. You create a problem in a little state like Arkansas. How do you clean $100 million a month? For about 2 months, I watched accounts accumulate money. At the end of the month, they zero balanced. They're laundering drug money.
In addition to the operations at Mena, small clearings in other parts of the state were used as drop points for money and cocaine.
They had special cargo doors installed on the side without FAA permission, so that these doors could be opened in flight. They'd pull in, slide back, and the cocaine could be dropped out the side in flight.
I snuck around, crawled through the bushes, thinking that I'd really have to hide to see them unloading the dope. Didn't have to. You could walk right up to the airport and they'd unload it right in front of you. They didn't care.
Clinton had integrated a number of corrupt cops, judges, and politicians into high-level positions to ensure the continued success of the drug smuggling, money laundering operations.
For 15 years, I did not encounter anything like the corruption which I encountered after the Mena investigation.
And all of this drug running, all of the trafficking of drugs, sending them all over the nation, came out of little Mena, Arkansas, right under the nose of little Governor Billy Clinton. Bill Clinton controlled the legal system. He controlled the judges. He controlled the attorneys. He controlled the banks.
It's just a small state, a one-party state. What tends to happen in small states like that, I think, is the longer the person remains governor, that I think the greater the abuses are.
The Mena story is a tale of drugs, guns, money laundering, and murder, involving an unholy alliance between organized crime, high-ranking U.S. political figures, and the drug kingpins of Colombia. Throughout the years, rumors of a CIA conspiracy and links to a Nicaraguan Contra resupply effort have masked the real players behind this horrific operation. Bill Clinton's election to the presidency of the United States proved to be the catalyst which unwittingly allowed the illegal activities inside his home state to receive national attention. Yet justice in Arkansas has been excruciatingly slow in coming. Many honest law enforcement officials have simply been kept from doing their jobs. In fact, to date, 9 separate state and federal investigations into the drug smuggling, money laundering activities at MENA have been shut down. In the fall of 1995, the United States House Banking Committee, chaired by Representative Jim Leach of Iowa, launched investigation number 10 into MENA. Insiders believe the investigation will not be allowed to reach any significant conclusions. At a press conference on October 7th, 1994, the president was asked if he had any knowledge of MENA's drug smuggling, money laundering operations.
No, they didn't tell me anything about it. They didn't say anything to me about it. The airport in question and all the events in question were the subject of state and federal inquiries. It was primarily a matter for federal jurisdiction. The state really had next to nothing to do with it. The local prosecutor did conduct an investigation based on what was within the jurisdiction of state law. The rest of it was under the jurisdiction of the United States attorneys who were appointed successively by previous administrations. We had nothing, zero, to do with it, and everybody who's ever looked into it knows that.
As governor, Clinton had repeatedly stated that MENA was a federal problem, and as a result, his hands were tied. Although untrue, Clinton managed to shift the blame away from himself. However, with his election to the presidency, Clinton no longer had any excuse. The question must be asked, if drug smuggling activities at MENA are continuing today, as the evidence suggests, why has Clinton allowed it?